John D. Rockefeller did not build the most powerful oil empire in America by luck. He built it by learning how to control cost, control transport, control rivals, and finally control the entire system around oil. That is why Standard Oil became a monopoly, and that is why it worked for so long. Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York. His father, William Big Bill Rockefeller, lived like a traveling pitchman and con artist, while his mother, Eliza Davison, was a disciplined Baptist who taught him to work, save, and give to charity. He grew up in a home where instability and discipline existed side by side. That mix shaped him. He learned early that chaos can ruin a family and order can build one. As a boy, he attended high school in Cleveland from 1853 to 1855, where he excelled in mental arithmetic. He also completed a 10-week business course at Folsom's Commercial College, studying bookkeeping and commercial history. At 16, on September 26, 1855, he became an assistant bookkeeper at Hewitt & Tuttle, a commission merchant firm. That first job mattered to him so much that he later treated it as more important than his birthday, because it taught him how money really moves inside a business. Before oil, Rockefeller was already learning commerce. In 1859, he formed Clark & Rockefeller, a commission merchant firm dealing in grain, hay, and meats. Then came the opportunity that changed American business. Edwin Drake drilled the first oil well in Titusville, Pennsylvania in 1859, and a new industry began to boom. Rockefeller entered refining in 1863, forming Andrews, Clark & Company in Cleveland. He understood something many others missed. The real money was not just in finding oil, but in refining, moving, and selling it efficiently. In 1865, at just 24 years old, Rockefeller bought out the Clark brothers for $72,500 and took full control. 2 years later, he formed Rockefeller, Andrews and Flagler with Henry M. Flagler. By January 10, 1870, the Standard Oil Company of Ohio was created with $1 million in capital. From that point on, Rockefeller was no longer just a businessman. He was building a machine designed to outlast everyone else. His first weapon was horizontal integration. He bought competing refineries until rivals disappeared or surrendered. During the Cleveland Massacre of 1872, Standard Oil acquired 22 of its 26 local competitors in only 6 weeks. The message was simple: either join him, sell to him, or be crushed by him. That kind of speed turned a local company into an industry giant almost overnight. But Rockefeller did not stop there. He also used vertical integration to control the whole chain. Standard Oil owned timber tracks for barrels, warehouses, wagons, tank cars, and more. He cut waste ruthlessly. By making his own barrels, he reduced the cost from $3 to less than $1.50 each. He also pushed crude oil into about 300 byproducts, including gasoline, paraffin, Vaseline, and lubricants. In other words, he did not just sell one product, he squeezed value out of every part of the barrel. Transportation gave him another edge. Standard Oil used its huge shipping volume to negotiate secret railroad rebates. It also benefited from the South Improvement Company in 1871, a secret arrangement with railroads that included drawbacks, meaning railroads paid Standard Oil part of the rates charged to competitors. The plan failed because of public protest, but even its threat helped Rockefeller pressure rivals into selling. He understood that power in business often comes from hidden advantages, not public speeches. In 1882, attorney Samuel Dodd created the Standard Oil Trust so Rockefeller could get around laws that prevented one corporation from owning stock in another across state lines. That legal structure made expansion even easier. At its peak, Standard Oil controlled about 90% of the U.S. oil refining and pipeline industry. By 1885, roughly 70% of its business was overseas, reaching Europe, China, and the Middle East. Rockefeller was not thinking locally anymore. He was building a global system. He also knew how to bet on the oil others ignored. In Ohio's Lima field, he took a risk on sour oil, which smelled like sulfur and was hard to process. He hired chemists Herman Frasch and William Burton to develop a purification process, and that gamble became highly profitable. Rockefeller was not afraid of bad conditions if they could be turned into an advantage. That is one reason his business survived when weaker rivals failed. Over time, however, the same power that made Standard Oil strong also made it hated. Journalist Ida Tarbell exposed the company in her 1904 19-part series, The History of the Standard Oil Company, describing its predatory practices and secret deals. Political cartoons showed Standard Oil as a giant octopus strangling government and industry. In 1906, the Justice Department sued under the Sherman Antitrust Act. In 1911, the Supreme Court ruled in Standard Oil Company of New Jersey versus United States that the company was an unreasonable monopoly and ordered it broken into 34 independent companies. That case also created the rule of reason, which still shaped antitrust thinking. The breakup looked like defeat, but Rockefeller still owned shares in the new companies. As their value rose, his wealth nearly tripled. In 1916, he became history's first billionaire. The breakup of his monopoly did not erase his fortune. In a strange way, it made him richer. The companies that came from Standard Oil became giants of the modern era, including ExxonMobil, Chevron, Amoco, and Conoco. Later in life, Rockefeller became one of the biggest philanthropists in history. He donated a total of $540 million to charitable causes. He helped create the University of Chicago, founded the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, established the Rockefeller Foundation, and supported work that helped eradicate hookworm in the American South. He died on May 23, 1937, at the age of 97. His real advantage was a mindset. Rockefeller looked for leaks, waste, and weak links, then closed them one by one. That is why Standard Oil could cut prices, survive pressure, and still grow while others collapsed. Systems mattered more than flashes of talent. His rise also had a psychological edge. When rivals saw him buying companies and getting better rail rates, many decided resistance was too expensive. Rockefeller used that fear to speed up consolidation. Often, the threat was enough to make people sell. His monopoly was economic and mental. And that is the lesson today. A monopoly can begin with discipline, then control, then advantage, then scale. Rockefeller's story shows how fast a company can grow when it owns the cheapest costs, the best routes, and the weakest competitors. It also shows the danger of too much power. Once a business becomes larger than the market around it, the public and the government eventually respond. Rockefeller's story is not just about one man becoming rich. It is about how discipline, control, timing, and ruthless efficiency can build an empire, and how that same empire can grow so large that the world pushes back. He did not become the first billionaire by chasing oil alone. He became the first billionaire by controlling everything around oil. So the real question is this: was Rockefeller a brilliant builder, a dangerous monopolist, or both? If this story taught you something new, subscribe, like the video, and comment your opinion below.